Hello and welcome to the vlog. This is my first vlog for a decade, I suppose. I was just doing videos, but I'm going to try to vlog this trip. It's day 6 of my trip through Taiwan, and it's got some rather interesting places where most people don't go, I think, normally, because most people are tied to wherever they can go by train or bus or hire car. And this is a bit different, as I hope you'll see. So I've just been stopped by a local who didn't speak English. She did recognise the Australian flag. "You Australian?" I said yes. She made it clear that I wasn't to go down this road any further. Okay, so this is day 5, and so far we've landed out here at the Taipei International Airport. Got in there at 12:30 local time, 2 o'clock Adelaide time, and all I wanted to do was go to bed. Got to bed about 3 after customs. Next day I just hanged around and did nothing and recovered. Went for a run, I think. And then I went up to the seaport. Not up to the water port, but there's a seaport, big seaport. There's lots of video of that. And then I travelled all the way down here. All the way down here. It was about a 4.5 hour drive in total. Until I had to cut across and go up to the Reiki hot springs. It's a place called Guanziling. It's not even marked on the map as a hot spring, happily. And so I was there for 3 days and 2 nights. But this video is about the journey from there, up this very windy road, going through places where there were monsoonal rain, mudslides and road closures, until I got to here where I had a swim in the waterfall, and then travelling back along here, and I didn't worry about any of this. I'm currently in Cing, and tomorrow I've got to get over to here. Well, this is magnificent country. It's not very much fun to drive with. The road is down to basically, it's quite wide here because there's been nowhere else to stop. Down to 1 lane going around tight bends, and we've got this big drain on the right hand side, and being a left hand drive and new to me, I'm not quite sure. Anyway, let's get the camera going for now. Just stopped the car at a pullover bit. Is very wide just here, because over there, apart from the hill, that's a mountain village that I was staying at, and you can see the one with the white square on the top. That's where the restaurant is where I was eating. That's the building of the Reiki Springs where I stayed. I've stopped at another especially wide bit. I have pulled over a couple of times for people, but when they go past me, they're not going that much faster than I. I just thought I'd stop, because the place where I want to go next is the National Science and Technology Museum, and it's closed on a Monday, and today's Monday. And I can't book into my hotel in the city until 6 p.m. So I'm taking the back road, scenic route, instead of driving directly to the next city about an hour and a half. I'm coming this way up through the Lakes District to what is the largest lake in Taiwan, down in the south here. Makes for interesting driving. That's the river that the road sort of follows a valley down. And I knew that I might be subject to monsoon damage. And some places I want to go might actually be closed. But it seems okay. I must be getting old because I do like travelling on my own, and I do like being organised within my own little self to just get out wherever I feel like it to look at the views. Now, these little shrines are everywhere you go, some smaller, some bigger, and I stopped at one and had a look at it and sort of didn't need to stop it anymore after that. It's very pleasant and very significant, and very well kept. But it's just quickly get the drone out, switch it on, choose a mode, put it into follow, and away I go. All washed away here with the heavy rains that have been coming down every afternoon since I've been up here. You've got to get your sightseeing done in the morning. So after having used the sports camera with the cover off so I can get at least a bit of sound, put the drone up and had a look. This is obviously a dead end to nowhere for a long time. It's not the most recent floods that have done this, but the floor is quite muddy where the silt has been washed away in the most recent monsoon rains. You've got to be a bit careful. And then the next thing we know, we actually come across a washout. I went to overtake the mob of cars that were parked on the side of the road and had to reverse back and go behind in the queue. Went for a walk up. The worker gave me a look like you don't have to speak Mandarin to say. Whoa. He was telling me what the fuck you're doing here. Go back to where you came from. So I did. Roadworks to do something else, and it all went haywire on me. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to be down there somewhere, but this is all right. All I'm doing is filling in time till I can book in at the hotel. Still on the descent down into the area of the largest lake or the largest dam. I've just been stopped by a local who didn't speak English. She did recognise the Australian flag. You Australian? I said yes. She made it clear that I wasn't to go down this road any further. I'm not sure why. It could be one of these washaways, which I've just taken a drone picture of one of the washaways that I've come through. But she was saying it's too narrow. So either she was not wanting me as a stranger to go down a private road, what the locals would have considered, you know, a local road, or there was a washaway down there which I would have eventually come to anyway. She made it clear. She was polite, but made it clear that I was to turn around and come back, so I have. And so this is drone footage, so it has no sound, and I haven't cut it because this is how I've never been here before in my life. Obviously, I can see the waterfall up ahead and the river off to the right. I've parked here. It turns out there is a car park over the other side of the bridge, but I didn't know that. I put the drone up behind me and go, okay, follow me. Let's see how we go. No traffic coming. Get across the road real quick. Because the drone's up there behind me, I don't want some truck coming around taking it out. Have a quick walk towards the sign so that the drone can get what the name of the fall is, and then just keep walking. I had forgotten to take my bathers. Not that I was intending to have a swim, it wasn't even in my mind at that stage. I was just going to have a look at this waterfall. As I walk down there, it's quite humid. It is a rainforest humidity. You know, it's like walking in the Queensland rainforest. I was there for 5 years, as many will know, and used to go running in the rainforest. But in the mornings, the tree there is going to catch the drone, so I have to capture the drone and make it land on my hand. I did crash the drone a couple of days before when I was going through a bushwalk, and the drone just went zip sideways, so I certainly didn't want it zipping sideways here and landing in the water. So I restarted it, and it's following me. So I'm thinking, I'm going to cross this. If my kids were here, I'd go across it just to show off. But by myself, the rockiness and also my leg strength, I would have to have jerk up from that position. If I jerked up and lost balance at the same time, because I just can't do one-legged squats anymore. And there's sticks down there, and I thought, no, I'm just not risking the injury. Go this other way, which means I have to lead the drone again, because you can see the overhanging branches. You've got to have a turn around and look and make sure the drone is following. So it doesn't always follow in a direct line behind you, so you've sort of got to go sideways and lead it so it can fly through those branches hanging down without touching. The propellers are shrouded, so it won't damage the drone by touching, but it will knock it off course, and it completely can disable it, end up landing in the drink, and that's the end of the drone, obviously. Didn't want that either. Those rocks are not slippery. They look like should be, but they're not, and I had decent sand shoes on anyway. And the thunderous waterfall, I tested the water. It was nice and cool, but not icy. Sometimes these mountain things can be icy. I thought, bugger this, gonna have a swim. Catch the drone first, and then we'll switch over to sports cam, which had no bloody, I didn't have the waterproof container, because the waterproof container cuts the sound too much. So then when I went for a swim, I had to hold it above the water. So I'm there by myself in the middle of nowhere. It's a very, very powerful waterfall. Had I been there with other people, I might well have swum further over. But also, the sports camera had no cover, a waterproof cover. So it was all a little bit just get in there, have a cool down. And it was a beautiful cool down. It changed my day from, well, I'll come to that later, where things went wrong earlier. Found a dent in the car and so forth. By myself, so I won't be going any closer. I just came through this without the camera on, so I've done a view to go back, because not only is there an interesting bit of a rockfall anti-landslide system here, further up where they haven't got it, there has been a landslide in the last lot of rains, or second last lot of rains. It's not fixed. You never do know who might be coming in the opposite direction, and the road here is quite wide. The narrower parts I wasn't able to record on. I was too busy staying in the right spot. Here you can see there's a landslide, wash away, mudslide in from the right, and road collapse over on the left. Put concrete bollards down on the left and blocked off the right hand side, and it's a one-way job. That's gone mental again when it switches off and then switches back on in the mountains. Not getting enough signal. Anyway, there's only one way to go here. So let's continue to go straight, but I ain't going up there. Turns out sat-nav was sending me the wrong way but the right way. Have a look at that, you could do a bridge walk here by yourself. Tell you what, if there's more than me, just in case, then I would do it. Well, actually I'm not even sure I would. Unbelievable that. Can you imagine the guardrails and the warning signs, and but here you just hop on the steps and away you go. I know what I did wrong and I shouldn't blame sat-nav. For me going, you've got to get through this book. The going to the falls was a go up the falls and then come back to the main road bit, and I just got in the car and carried on going. So now I've got to go back. Tell you what though, some nice scenery through here. Anyway. I thought I'd show you how I did this bit. I'm never going to be a 100 million viewer type professional vlog maker. Just doing it for a bit of fun and a bit of recording, and all my energy is in the morning. That's when I like to do stuff, which was this morning. I've been to the science and technology this morning and drunk all that in. And then in the afternoon, really it's either have an afternoon nap or a lay down, watch a bit of TV, maybe do a bit of video editing. Not do much until beer o'clock. Anyway, this is how I did this. Cut the bit out in between where I went up and did a U-turn and left the bits in where I ran to and from the car. You'll notice I still got no shoes on because I got into the water of that waterfall with my sand shoes and shorts on, and then sort of changed back at the car and put my jeans back on and left my socks and shoes off for a while. And the bitumen is burn your soles, your feet hot if you
well, I came across this bridge,
sit still,
went up the road
stand still.
To find a U-turn spot, and I'm going to, while there's no traffic around, just trickle really slowly across because it's at the top end of the lake. And it's really quite picturesque. The car coming out the lake. Still recording. Oh, went on the wrong side of the road there. Nearly had a head on. I did a U-turn and came to the left side of the road, which I'm used to doing. And of course there was a truck coming, which woke me up. Don't know whether the camera's going to show this up. But on the back of the little pickup in front, you can see a woman sitting on the back. It's great. Perfectly safe, going nice and slowly off the market. Well, I wonder what it was at first. I've just hit a two lanes each way, 4-lane highway. Still speed limit 50. There's a lake off to my right, which is the largest lake. I presume there'll be a lookout place somewhere, but there's no spots to actually stop and take pictures, so I shan't do that. I couldn't talk my way out of it, you see. And I'm also trying to make sure that I'm in the correct lane. Well, they look like parking spaces there. Well, I just filled up with fuel, and it wasn't too hard. I now know the fuel cap is on the left hand side. And I also found the switch for it.
It was actually a bit embarrassing because I couldn't find the switch to open the petrol lock cap. They probably thought all Westerners bloody idiots.
I am rather enjoying this drive through the countryside now, and having the swim under that waterfall and the little bit of a tricky path to get there, and not wanting to cross that log which was just swinging a bit too much. And it wasn't the fact that falling off worried me, it was what was below me, and there were sticks and rocks, and if I'd fallen I might have hurt myself, and I just can't afford to hurt myself while I'm away in a foreign country. That's why I went the other way. But getting in the water, I could have gone back for my boulders, but I just thought, am I going to have a quick dip? And it was beautiful because it was nice and cool and not cold, and it's one of the reasons I hired a car. Everybody was talking about coming to Taiwan and all the cheap ways of getting around using the high-speed train. I don't want to go on a high-speed train and zoom past everything. I don't even want to go on a slow train which takes you only where the tracks go. So I want to be able to zip up to different places, see what I can find on a map. I'm hoping to be able to talk to people. I've tried to go into the tourist bureau up at the hot springs. The tourist bureau is up there, but it was just shut and seemed to be emptied out. I was hoping to get some maps, and of course hunting springs in Taiwan in the tropics don't have to be hot, do they? You know, when I've been to New Zealand I've always been in the snow season, so getting a hot spring is sort of essential if you're going to get in the water. I've tried the cool and the warm ones, and it's just rubbish. You're just in there pretending you're enjoying yourself. Same in California, same anywhere in fact. In Australia, if they're warm springs, I've been to springs in Australia, and you know, they're described in the brochures as a good temperature, but they're cool, and which is great in summer, but rubbish in winter. So I've decided I don't necessarily need to hunt hot springs, because that waterfall was just brilliant, and I didn't go right up to the waterfall. I was the only one there, and it was coming down at such a force could possibly break your arm, and could certainly, I didn't know where the undertow was or anything like that, so again, didn't need to drown today. Anyway, that swim in the water really cheered me up, because up until then I've sort of had enough of a lot of things. And when I got out to some roadworks and where we were stopped, I saw that there was a dent in the boot of this hire car, which wasn't there when I hired it, so it's been done since I've had it in my possession. And I cannot for the life of me recall reversing into anything. So I think that it's a car park dent. My car was parked with the nose in for 2 nights and 3 days at the last place, and a bit surprised I didn't notice it when I put the bag in the car. And then I didn't go to the rear of the car afterwards, because I put the bag in the car, went over and had breakfast, then came back and got my smaller bag and remainder kit, and went back and got into the car from the side, so didn't really look at the boot again. But I can't say it's impossible that I didn't reverse into something, because I've been reversing this car very, very slowly, and it's possible that I could have put a small dent in like that without recognising or realising that I'd contacted something. Anyway, let's go past this blowpipe. No, bend. Keep getting tantalising glimpses of this dam, but no more.
So finally I get to see this dam. It's been so tantalisingly close. I've been getting glimpses of it, but nowhere to stop and take a video, or by the time I get the camera out I've gone past the place. And it's obviously a major tourist attraction, but people coming from the other direction is quite a decent highway. This way in that I'm going is through the mountains, and basically nobody comes that way. The only traffic that was on my road was basically locals and local farmers and lots of little trucks and things like that. So I'm sort of almost on the way out.
Yeah. Just got to show you these men's toilets.
There's actually no glass here, That's just wire strips down, so you feel like you're very close to nature while you're having a wee.
Well, it does say no climbing, no intention of doing that. I had every intention of flying the drone, and there's people behind me watching like crazy because I'm a foreigner anyway, so I don't think I'll be flying the drone. I think it would be too hard to explain that mine is not technically a drone at 149 grams. It's got to be 250 grams to be a drone, but I think I won't bother trying to explain that in Chinese. Well, it looks better from some places than others.
This road trip was actually just about going to that waterfall and following the highland roads.
I was thinking about risking the drone then for a minute, but they quite probably have surveillance on the damn wall, so I shall not. Just hold it
Burning the
discreetly in my hand while I
candle at both ends.